Chung Soon-doek is the head shaman leading a day-long ritual. She's accompanied by several disciples, all of them shamans in training.
하늘의 율법이 있고 하늘의 신법이 있고 그런 율법에 의해서 그 신법에 의해서 고도의 그런 치유자도 되고 영들의 지도자이기도 하고.
Mudang is the Korean word for female shaman. It means one who dances to the language of the gods. Chung explained to me that a shaman is like an intermediary, someone who travels between the human world and the spirit world. They can help solve people's problems that are created, or at least exacerbated by, deities, ghosts, or ornery ancestors. The drums are for waking up the spirit world, while the bells and cymbals are like an invitation to the gods. I'm at a small temple in a city park in South Korea's capital, Seoul. Shamans here are both disparaged and revered. South Koreans have a complicated relationship with shamans. They're part of an ancient tradition that holds a special place in the lives of many people. This ceremony was arranged by a woman whose father-in-law recently had a stroke. The hope is that the ritual will help him recover. Koreans pay big bucks for things like this, well into the thousands of dollars. But if you ask them about shamanic practices and beliefs, many will dismiss this stuff as silly superstition. Here's an example. During his presidential campaign, Yoon Suk-yeol participated in a televised debate, and people noticed that he had something written on the palm of his left hand. It was the Chinese character for king. Yoon's critics accused him of listening to kooky religious figures. But he's hardly the first South Korean politician to be connected with these ancient polytheistic practices. In 2016, President Park Geun-hye was mightily criticized for giving access to a shaman-like spiritual advisor. Park ended up being impeached. The advisor went to prison on corruption charges. Korean politicians might get flack for going to shamans and seeking political advice, but the truth is Koreans go to shamans all the time. They go to get their fortunes read. They go to have a healing prayer. They also hire shamans to do rituals that are called gut, and these can be quite elaborate and expensive. They happen when a family maybe buys a new house or buys a new car, or someone's looking for a promotion at work, or maybe their daughter or son is going to get married soon.
Basically, the Korean people, they don't want to reveal that they use shamanic services.
Kim Dong-kyu is a research professor at Sogang University in Seoul. He's an expert on Korean religions. He's also married to Chung, the shaman leading the gut, or shamanic ritual, here at the temple.
There is an image of Korean shamans and shamanism deep inside the Korean people's mind that they are not trustable. However, in their everyday life, they go to shaman's shrine and sometimes they sponsor good and rituals. That's why call it a kind of ambivalent aspect of modern Korean shamanism.
During certain periods of history, shamans were considered to be outcasts. When the Japanese ruled over Korea during the first half of the 20th century, these traditional holy women, and they are mostly women, were seen as obstacles to modernization. But today you can find lots of shamans offering up religious services on Instagram and Facebook. And in South Korean popular culture, shamans are kind of having a moment. Exhuma is the English name of a Korean horror film about two young, attractive, modern-day shamans hired by a family to help cure their newborn son of a strange illness. It was South Korea's top-earning movie last year. You can find it on Apple TV, by the way. Lee Song-jae is the head of a nationwide association of shamans. He says he's not surprised that shamans are getting all kinds of attention these days. He told me that the way of the shaman is embedded in the DNA of the Korean people.
도교, 유교, 천주교, 불교 다 우리 한국에 와서 꽃을 다 핀 거예요. 종교의 DNA가 있기 때문에.
Yi said he first heard the voices of God speaking to him as a young man, and he's been a practicing shaman ever since. Buddhists, Christians, and atheists, business owners, politicians, all kinds of people come to him seeking shamanic services, even if they don't tell anyone else about it.